So I was asked by my son to help him with his age verification on Roblox yesterday, and he was asked to, take a photo of his ID. So how do I know that's only held on my device, that scan of the passport, and doesn't go onto the internet?
It's a really good question. Now there's a thing called a zero knowledge proof, and what that means, like I was saying before, even if you are loading that information onto your device, it stays on your device. It doesn't go up into a central database.
The so-called device-held identity.
That's right. We all hear about these big bank breaches and so forth, where information is kept in a central database and then someone breaks in, a threat actor breaks in and takes that information. With the concept of self-sovereignty, you keep that information on your device and it's encrypted on your device. And like I said before, you're only sharing those things you need to share. So for instance, age verification, it would be, yes, I'm below or above 16. And that is something that really, I think, from this age assurance technology trial has been a big winner in terms of the types of technologies that can be used. There are other technologies, such as facial age estimation. Once again, you're not sharing a picture of yourself, but only highlights of what might make you above or under a certain age.
But as my son showed me, because this estimation technology said he was 8 when in fact he's 14, that's a bit iffy.
Absolutely. And at Sharing, we don't do age estimation because we don't believe it's accurate enough. We have a self-sovereign solution. But in terms of that facial age estimation, you would have a certain level of accuracy that's required for different platforms. So as an example, if you're buying alcohol online, not social media, but if you're buying alcohol online, you would need a high level of accuracy. But if for some other interactions online, you might only require a lower level of accuracy. So these technologies exist where they're sort of layered and you can apply a certain layer to a certain type of requirement.
Now, finally, do you think this social media ban is going to achieve what it sets out to achieve? Address the issues of online bullying and so on, and low body image and all that? Or is it or does it have to evolve to do that? Or will kids, get around it and then be forced onto the dark web, etc.?
That's lots of questions, and I think they're all great questions. So to start, I think, yes, it will be successful, but it is being rolled out piece by piece. So that means now we're concentrating on, say, 10 social media platforms where if you're below a certain age, there is a restriction there. But of course, kids, as you know, will try to get around that. And I know that's the case. So for example, like I said before, something like facial age estimation where you might not be, you might be sort of under a certain age, but look over a certain age. Obviously, there are particular issues with something like that, but with something like age verification, where you're using, say, a government credential or whatever to be able to verify your age, then obviously that's not the case. It's much, much more accurate. So in terms of how this is practically rolled out, like I said, it is going to be staged. And each of those stages will introduce different things. But the idea is not to block everyone, but it is to minimise the amount of potential damage that could be required. There are other technologies that applied or were applied in the trial and will be applied in terms of the social media ban, such as geolocation, where you understand where someone is. So, for instance, it'll determine whether someone's in Australia and this actually applies to them. The technologies also include things like biometrics and facial movements and so forth, where whatever is on your identity and is matched against your actual face, and it includes things like movements and so on and so forth. So it is a very accurate way of determining who the individual is. So with that restriction, and with the penalties that apply to the platforms for not effectively implementing these solutions, there is a big deterrent, and I'm very, very likely that it's going to have a very positive impact.